here. It is Sunday morning in the Philippines, and we are getting ready for Super Typhoon Unami, I think it is. Um, if you see here, where I live, right on the coast, not ideal for a super typhoon. Um, the The water level is at a minimus, which is indicative of a giant storm. It's pulling the water. The wind is pulling the water out to sea, I think, and it's going to come back in with a fury tonight. So, I just moved to this place. Bad timing, I guess, but it's an awesome place to live. Usually there's waves, there's a reef out there, there's waves breaking on the reef, but today it's very calm. The proverbial calm before the storm. Beautiful, right? There's a little bit of garbage in the ocean. I expect a lot more tonight after the storm. That's one thing I'm going to work on here is clean up some of the garbage. I'm going to hire some of the local kids to help me. Always drives me crazy, the amount of garbage here in the Philippines and the lack of just knowledge about, why you shouldn't just throw your plastic bottle in the ocean when you're done drinking it or in the river. I know a lot of Filipinos get mad at me when I mention that kind of stuff. They tell me to go back to my own country. This is the third world. That doesn't mean you can't take care of your trash just because it's the third world or a developing country, I think is the proper nomenclature. This is my new town here. It's in the province. It's a great place, just maybe not so great for Superstorm Unami coming tonight. But anyway, because of the superstorm, I'm kind of stuck at home, preparing and whatnot. I do have a new gym here, but I'm gonna stay home today and just work out here. So I thought I'd do a home workout for my Walking Man Works Out series. All right, 37 people. You guys, if you just tuned in, I have very few regrets in life. Somebody just asked me that. Hi. Hey, Krista Boland. You seem excited. Did you guys catch this? This is my backyard here, but in the Philippines, we have a superstorm coming. It's Sunday morning. By tonight, Super Typhoon Unami is supposed to hit, and I'm right on the northern edge. If you see the minimus tidal pool here, it's usually higher than that, but the water's going out to sea to come back in with a fury tonight when the typhoon hits, and the winds are going to wrap around from the north clockwise and bring the water in this way. So it could be scary. Even on a regular tide, you see this down here, even on a regular tide, the water gets about a foot or two on my wall here. Elena Lincoln, wow, yeah. Krista Boland, wow. Yeah, we're getting ready for this superstorm. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm kind of stuck at home today preparing for this typhoon. I don't want to take the time to go to the gym. Hi, Jack Juice, how are you? So I'm just going to work out at home as part of my Walking Man Works Out series. I set up my little station here. I'm actually going to buy it's pretty cheap to get equipment from China here actually, so I'm just going to do a kettlebell workout today. This is what we call a sola in the Philippines. Sola, I think it's pronounced, is where, You got the dirty kitchen, which is the outdoor kitchen. In that window there is my apartment, but my fiance and my baby are sleeping in there right now. It's 8:20 in the morning. So this is the dirty kitchen. Mostly outdoor kitchens here in the field. There's also one inside, but it's nice, the dirty kitchen, because they cook a lot of kind of smelly fish and stuff. Liam in Asia said hi. How are you? Liam in Asia. Shout out to you. Sup, Grandpa JD Dula. Not a grandpa, actually a new father, but what's up, JD? The Baddie X Vlog, hi. Ricardo B 67, how are you, Ricardo? So I'm just gonna go ahead and start my workout. Congratulations on new father. Thank you. I have a 2-month-old. I've never had a baby before. I'm in my 50s. The baddies, I love you. I love you. Thank you. I love you too, maybe. You're working hard, aren't you? Are you? Not working too hard right now. Ricardo B 6767. What is that, from South Park? I just watched an episode of South Park last night. It was pretty hilarious, where 6'7", I'm not sure, turned Cartman into the, what is it, the girl from, what's that old devil Satan movie? I could never watch it when I was a kid because it was so scary. Connor Verdon, you're amazing. Thank you, Connor. Allison, 67. Okay, guys, I'm going to get started on my workout. Like I said, I'm stuck at home, so I'm just going to do a makeshift workout. I gig, have a great day. You too. Fantastic. The Philippines people are amazing. You have a fantastic family future. Thank you, yes. Even with all the bad stuff you read from expat blogs on Reddit, it's mostly a lot of bullshit. People in the Philippines are great people. They're not all liars, they're not all scammers. I have a great family here. I also love my family in the States, but my mom passed on a few years ago. I have a sister, a brother, and some nieces and nephews. How much can you bench press? I don't know. I work out alone mostly, so I don't really max out. When I played football in high school, I benched about 250, but that was many years ago. Accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Connor Verdon, I'm sorry. Sorry about what? Sorry about the Jesus Christ, guys. I'm an atheist. I was raised Catholic. My girlfriend's very Catholic, my fiance, and she wants to, raise our daughter Catholic. But I'm kind of an atheist. I have several science degrees. Rivals duds, what's up? Pros and cons everywhere. It's true, there's pros and cons everywhere. I mean, living in the US, it's just crazy right now with the divided politics and everything. And I'm kind of a progressive, so Trump is doing things that I'm totally against. I think immigration shouldn't be open to everybody, but there should be a legal route for immigration. Not getting too much into politics. This isn't my politics channel. You like my bracelets? I got this in Bali last year, me and my fiance. Actually, that's where our baby was conceived, in Bali last year. Bali is awesome. It's a little crowded now, but it's so inexpensive to travel there. If you like the beach, it has amazing beaches. The people there are amazing. I make YT vids too. Cool, send me your link, I'll subscribe. I'm living in Leyte. Oh man, I think you guys are a little south of this storm that's coming, but Leyte gets the brunt of most storms, I think. I'm a sub to you, Air. Thanks, man. All the subs I could get. I love it. Will Trump, it's like having a Hawks and a box of chocolates. You never know where you're gonna. Yeah, it is true. And I can't say everything Trump has done is bad, but if you guys, I've mentioned on the channel, I work for the federal government, so what he's done to federal employees, and to demonize us like we're all lazy and we don't do anything is just total bullshit. I mean, I'm a ranger for the Bureau of Land Management. The reason I get furloughed in the winter, even without the government shutdown, I get furloughed normally. So even now, I would be furloughed anyway if there wasn't the government shutdown. TY stands for thank you, by the way. You're welcome, Rivals dude. Thank you. Hi from Barbie. Hi, Barbie. My friend just died, Liam Brandon. I'm sorry to hear that. At my age, you see, I've had many friends die. I used to be a professional kayaker. I have so many of my friends, whitewater kayaking, through the big river, whitewater and stuff. And I've had so many friends die over the years. But, if they lived a good life, died doing what they love to do, everything is so expensive. Yeah, I know, everything's crazy expensive. In the Philippines, it's even getting more expensive, but it's not like the States. I mean, my salary I get in the States goes a long way in the Philippines, but everybody here thinks I'm like extremely rich, and that's just not the case. I'm a ranger, so I'm sure you guys know what, I've been a ranger for, 15 years, but I'm sure you guys know. I'm a professional STD. El Chapo, what's an STD? I mean, I know what an STD is, but what you mean by STD? Rivals, dude. Just like you. Thanks, Rivals, dude. I'll find you and subscribe. Are you the one that said you have a... I need him to make sure we can afford gas, groceries. I don't think Trump is going to do anything about that. You got to understand that he is a billionaire. He's been a billionaire his whole life. When he brings up groceries, he's like, groceries. It's an old-fashioned word, groceries. Because he's never used it. He's never gone grocery shopping in his life. He doesn't really care about that. He cares about his ballroom and his image and that people like him, basically. So I checked your YouTube channel. Thanks, man. So, the only way Trump will do something about groceries is if people give him enough grief, or, his polls are sinking now. So if he loses, a lot of favorability and people start not liking him, because he really wants to be liked. You have a lot, yeah. Yeah, I do have a lot. Fellow back. Fall the way back, sorry. F Trump, yeah. I kind of agree with you. I mean, the way he's treated federal workers, I'm gonna go watch your channel. All right, man, that'd be great. My channel's mostly about the Philippines. I don't do much stuff when I'm in the U.S., which is like 8 months a year I'm in the U.S. Connor Verdown said hi. By the way, guys, I'm gonna do another live stream when the storm hits tomorrow morning. Not one working out, probably. Let me get started on my workouts. I'm gonna start with, I don't really do, this is my fiance's kettlebell. But like I said, I can't go to the gym right now. I'm kind of tied down at home because of the typhoon. The gym's not far, but I just don't want to leave my family. This is actually my first time doing these. I've seen them done a lot. I'm going to moon him pretty soon. Who, Trump? So anyway, guys, as you know, it's early in the Philippines, so it's not too hot here yet, but it gets, it's 90 degrees here every day Fahrenheit. So I like to work out. I do have air conditioning, but I like to work out here in the heat. It just feels good. Where I was in, I'm so strong. Yeah, I'm not as strong as I used to be, but thanks. Yeah. I've been working out since I'm a kid, on and off. I got away from it for a while, in my 30s, 40s. And when I first came to the Philippines 4 or 5 years ago, I started walking a lot here, and I was listening to a lot of podcasts. And, one podcast I watched, talked about how as you get over 50, you have to do resistance training to keep your musculoskeletal strong. Your muscles basically strong so you can, and I actually felt it, One thing when you get older, they always say, or I always heard when I was young, the first thing that goes is your legs, and it's true. I have to go get dinner, but I promise I will come back to watch it, okay? Thanks, man. I'm just gonna work out, but tonight for you guys, or early tomorrow morning, I'm gonna do another live stream. Trying to show you mid-typhoon what's going on here. Hopefully I'm still here. Does feel good on the shoulders. Like I said, this is my first time doing a kettlebell workout. I usually like to go to the gym where they have all the equipment and stuff, but I'm trying to stick close to home. Dutchie Smith, I want to move to the Philippines. I came here and visited 2 or 3 times, and I still don't live here full time. But I decided this is the place I'm going to retire in 10 years or so. It's, if you're a middle class earner in the U.S., you could live like a upper middle class person or better here in the Philippines. You don't have to worry about every penny. Like this place, I didn't show you guys the inside of the apartment part, but right there I have an office, a storage room, and this solar, and then we have a big garage out front. I'll do another video actually of the whole place when my fiance and baby aren't sleeping. But this place, the rent in the Philippines is about $200 a month. It would be about $4,000 in Colorado, where I live in the U.S. Go ahead and subscribe, guys. I need more subscribers. Okay. 3 sets of 12 to 15 of those, and I'll move on to the next thing. Henry Clee, keep going. Yeah, don't be afraid to move out of the U.S., but it's not a scary world. I've been traveling my whole life. I originally started traveling for whitewater kayaking, and in college I became a raft guide. I went to college in Colorado and found myself needing money, so I got a job as a raft guide. In the summer, I got into whitewater kayaking years and years ago. And then in the first couple of years I went, I dropped out of college and actually went back and finished eventually, but I went to Ecuador and worked down there as a whitewater guide for a winter back in the mid-90s, and it was incredible, and that just started my traveling bug. I eventually ended up working for a kayak high school where I taught science, and we travel around the world. I worked with them in Africa, Chile, Argentina. I know a lot of Americans, they think the world is scary, but it's scary. America is the only place in the world I've ever been where everybody has a gun, and everybody's, especially these days, really aggressive. Okay. Feels good. Like I said, guys, as you get older, the first thing to go is your legs. You gotta keep your legs under you. So squats, I hate them. I really never met anybody who loves doing squats. A few people maybe, but they're probably the best thing. I'm working myself to death here just to make sure I can pay rent. Exactly, man. Dutchie, exactly. When I come to the Philippines, I could relax. You know, I don't have to be stressed about money all the time like in the US. Hell, you go grocery shopping these days in the US, you know? I mean, you get 2 bags of groceries and it's $100, you know? Especially if you want a meat or something, which is crazy. And the food here, you know, I've heard certain different things. They do use pesticides and stuff. Rice is definitely a staple. So I don't eat rice because it hurts my stomach. And they eat crazy amounts of rice here. But, you know, there's these little buns called pan de sal that I really love. You get 10 of them for $1, you know, fresh out of the bakery, you know. And they're, you know, they use good ingredients. You know, you get meat here has got expensive. I would say meat here is close to what it is in the US. Like a whole chicken out of the, you know, at the grocery store or the market costs like $5. Same as in the US. The thing is though, the chickens here aren't raised 1,000 chickens in one little coop and pumped up with all kinds of, you know, medicine and stuff to make them fat or whatever they use, you know, and they're not all fed the same thing. They're mostly free roaming chickens who eat bugs and grass and all that stuff. It's not America. It's scary right now. Do you love Jesus? Yeah, I'm an atheist. I love science. Wow, these are quite effective. This is, I don't know how many kilos this thing is. It doesn't really matter what weight it is. If you feel it in your muscles, it's working. What your guy? What's up, man? Can I be mod? Can I be mods? What does that mean? Can I be mod? You gotta give me hints to the lingo. When I was young, we said dude. I can make your chat safe. It's a moderator. Oh, moderator. I know what that is. Let me think about it, Billy. Go ahead and subscribe. It's dark outside. In the US, I'm sure. A lot of food in America is nasty, yeah, because it's, I mean, I love pizza and bagels. I grew up on the East Coast, and I do miss a good bagel here, but anywhere I'm in the world, you can't get a good bagel like in New York. I mean, most people in the US, I've lived in Colorado for 30 years, they don't even know what a good bagel is in Colorado. Done, okay, Billy. Ditchy Smith, excellent. We'll talk, Billy. I'm just a guy who gets on here, turns on the live stream. I've made some videos. I like messing around, with, editing and stuff, but I made a lot of videos actually over the last 3 or 4 years. There was a guy calling you gay. Yeah, that was a few weeks ago. Here we go, last set. These are very effective. Okay guys, my wife and baby just got up. I gotta get going. Half hour. Yeah, I remember you rivals, dude, of course. You're back, but I gotta go. My wife and baby just woke up. I gotta stay on her good side, right? Anyway, one last time. Take a look at my backyard here for you guys that didn't see it. And I'm gonna do a live stream during the typhoon, so go and subscribe and you'll get notified when I do that live stream. Okay, rivals, dude? I'll see you guys soon. Peace.